Hey, what's up? Welcome back, subscribers. It's me, Sab, again, here with another episode of Suffering of Silence. Um, and today I'm just talking to talk. And I don't really have a lot of special things to talk about today. I just wanted to make sure I stayed consistent in producing some, new episodes every other Friday, like I promised. Um, I feel like I'm just not that I'm running out of things to talk about because like I have a million and one stories I could share with you guys, but I feel like I'm just in a place right now where so much is going on and so much change is happening, but at the same time, my life is a little bit duller than it normally is. I just recently got back from Turks and Caicos earlier this month, and it was seriously such an amazing um time, a great experience. It was truly unplanned on my end, at least. I typically like to be a lot more prepared when I go on trips, but this time like I was not supposed to be there, basically. I keep promising myself like Puerto Rico is going to be my last trip of the year. Like I didn't want to go anywhere else anymore. Like I wanted to chill for the rest of the year and just like lock in on my fitness, lock in on, you know, recuperating on all the money that I've spent this year traveling, and just like getting my life together and like making sure that my professional life is in order. I was, I think, even back in September, I was foreseeing a lot of changes that were going to happen, drastic changes in my life, in not only just like a personal space but also like professionally. I saw myself going in a different direction with my job, or one of my jobs, and I was kind of foreseeing that happening, and I just so happened to like I just it all happened at once and it happened so quickly. I just didn't know when it was going to happen, but it came, and the opportunities just presented themselves, and here we are, you know? And I feel so grateful and so blessed. Like, literally, I've had an amazing fall. Like, I am so happy with the direction that things are going. I mean, there's a lot of things that are still falling apart around me, but what can I say? I love the chaos. Um, and I've been able to take a little bit more time to myself to really reflect, and something that I am trying to take off my plate as of lately is I'm trying to stop my going out so much and reducing on that. And I was doing so well. So I just wanted at least to get through the month of October because it was Halloween. It was one of my favorite times of the year, and I kept giving myself reasons to go out, to celebrate, to da 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 da. Da. And now I'm here. And I was doing so well. And then I get this surprise trip to Turks and Caicos, and then my friends fly up to see me again from Florida, and I'm like, oh my God. I kept finding more and more reason to not stay the fuck in. Um, Not that I find anything wrong with going out. I personally I'm just trying to cut that out of my life right now because it's not really adding to my some of the goals that I have for myself, especially when it comes to like my health and just my fitness journey that I'm trying to stay on. I had a crazy summer already. Like I already knew this summer I was gonna go. I didn't even act up like that. Like I definitely was never inside though. But I wasn't as crazy, but I'm so happy for the summer I had, and then it kinda carried over for a couple months after, and now it's really, really time to lock the fuck in, and we about to go into this I'm about to go into this and, really stay committed to it. I even cut nicotine out of my life. I stopped vaping about a month ago, um, and I've cut liquor out of my life. Hasn't been that long, but I have been cutting it out of my life lately, and, I'm so proud of myself because, you know, it's I've never been one to like be reliant on substances or anything of that sort, but in the moment, it just seems like that's what I was appealing to, and um, I'm really proud of myself to be able to just go cold turkey on that shit. You know what I mean? Like just completely cut it off out of my life, and I love it. I love it for myself, and I have to celebrate the small wins because I mean, that's how you stay sane, bro. That's how you stay sane. And I've been a lot more consistent in the gym, especially ever since I got back home from Portugal. Um I told myself I was going to lock in cuz this entire summer I was like on and off sick in between like the trips that I had. So between being sick and traveling, I didn't really have a lot of time to fit the gym in, and I wasn't going as consistently as I typically would. And, after Portugal, I was like, I don't care if even if I'm feeling a little groggy or like whatever the case is, I'm gonna commit to going because I want to obtain a certain um fitness goal. And by me being inconsistent, that's not going to get me where I want to be. Um So I locked in, and it honestly helped me because ever since I really stayed consistent in the gym, like I haven't seen myself get as sick as often. Like I haven't been sick since then. Knock on wood. But I've seen a lot of changes with my health in general. So I'm very happy about it. I'm very proud of myself for it. Um and yeah, like I feel like in the last month or so, I've also been doing a lot of like fun activities that have kind of kept me a little bit more grounded and kept me more wholesome and healing like certain parts of like my childhood. Um my childhood wounds at least. And it feels really good. Like this entire summer has really healed a lot of like my childhood and my 20s. Um, and this fall so far, I've been able to heal more of my inner child, and just truly like going back to things that I should have experienced as a child, and things that I should have experienced and been able to have a part of my childhood. So I'm very happy for it. And it feels good. It just feels so good. And for anyone who's listened over the course of these last, you know, I think what we're going on like 9 months, 9 or 10 months, um, of my podcast. um, you know, a year ago from today, well, not exactly from today, but like a year ago in November of 2023, like I was literally going through a really hard time. Like I I had started really taking more progressive steps in my mental health in 2023, and like truly doing more of the work of healing my mental, like my healing myself, that of wounds that were not relating to the relationship trauma that I went through in that abusive relationship. And I was finally able to really dive deeper into like what I had to heal from my childhood, what I had to heal um from my family wounds. And so 2023 was just a very significant year for me, and I also lost my grandma. And I didn't really I was still in that transitional stage of like trying to break those avoidant habits that I would have with my mental health and my emotions. And instead of like so I was trying to break out of like bottling up those feelings and really actually facing what I'm going through. And I was also like that, at in the fall of 2023, I was going through a really rough breakup as well with someone that I thought was, I mean, obviously, I feel like a lot of us think that our significant others are certain people and certain kinds of people, and they turn out to not be. And it's sort of disappointing, of course. But, like I was going through a really rough breakup with someone that, like, just in general, like, I thought this person was amazing. I thought that this person was someone that I could really align with in general, not just in a relationship. Um, and so like it was very heartbreaking because I feel like much I had never been in a healthier place in my life, and yet it was just never enough for him. And so my inability to not reach the emotional capacity or reach the emotional intelligence level that he felt like he needed or wanted in that relationship was really like it was really hurtful because I knew that with all of my heart, like I was trying my best, but I just couldn't force myself to be where he wanted me to be until I knew I was ready to be there. You know what I mean? And that breakup, like I said in the last episode, was literally the best thing that ever happened to me. Like it literally was exactly what I needed to like push myself forward because as soon as we broke up, like I spiraled into a crazy depression and everything just hit me all at once. Like all of my childhood shit, grieving my grandma, grieving the loss of that relationship, and just overall looking at how far I'd come. And I remember in those moments, in the beginning of that whole breakup, like I was really down bad. Like I was crying for days and days and days. Um I would stay in bed for days and days just like not being able to get out of this depression, and like no one knew what was going on. Like the only person that knew what was going on was my amazing niece. Mind y'all, I have a lot of nieces and nephews that are like around my age. And she would come over, surprise me and like check on me and make sure I'm okay. And like not even my own friends would do those things. My own family, they no one knew what was going on, and it felt so isolating and it felt so heartbreaking that I had to go through all of that by myself. Because I know, like, everyone wants to downplay how badly, like, a relationship breakup could actually affect you, but it really could destroy you. And I know there's worser things that you could be heartbroken over, but again, I was heartbroken over many things, not just that breakup. It all just was hitting me like a fucking bus. And that's the first time in my life that I actually really sat with everything and, like, processed everything as the emotions were, like, coming. Because I had never been able to have that space before, and now that like, that had been the first time ever I could actually give myself the space and the capacity to actually feel my feelings and really process it all. And so, like, it was such a pivotal point for me in my mental health and my emotional health because it's made me much more resilient in how I handle a lot of situations now, and it's made me a lot more emotionally stable and a lot less reactive to things that might hurt someone or might hurt me. And last year it was just so hard. Like I can't even explain it. Like it sucks when you're like going through shit and like you reach out. Like it's not to say that I didn't try to reach out to people or I didn't try to reach out to my friends to talk about things and like try to help myself, try to surround myself with what I felt like might be genuine love, or try to bring myself out of this depression, because I tried. And I reached out to friends that I was very close to and friends that I've known my whole life, and they weren't trying to be there for me, and I get it, you know, like it's no one's responsibility but my own to like get myself out of those situations. But for me to get to a point, knowing myself, I'll say, knowing myself and knowing where I've come from a place in which I couldn't express my needs or express my my desires to someone in a healthy way. You know what I mean? And like for me to reach out to you and literally plainly tell you like I need you right now. Like I need you to be here for me. Literally not to give me advice. I don't need you to do anything other than just sit with me. Like let me cry with you. Let me like take me out to like get out of this funk, get out of this depression. And you know, the people that I did reach out to and I did connect with, I mean, actually no. Some of them would just they weren't even there for me. You know, like they would cancel things on me, and I get it, like life happens, but for me, like I'm a down ass friend. Like if you tell me like if you were to plainly the way I said it, the way I called one of my closest friends and I was just like, "Yo, like I really need you. Like I need this day. I need this night with you because I'm so depressed. Like I need to I need to pick myself back up and I need to be around people that bring me good energy and can take my mind off of this shit." And for you to literally blow me off is crazy. And I'm grateful for it though, because it made me much more resilient and it put me in a place where I had to force myself to learn to tolerate it and learn to grow with this by myself. So, like I felt like I was just being kicked while I was down. And it felt so awful because I was so vulnerable to this person and told this person like I needed you. And I don't say that easily. I don't say that fucking easily. Being someone who is hyper independent and extremely like traumatized from expressing my needs, it was honestly like a kick to the face. But it obviously proves and shows that I can still overcome anything on my own. And I felt really taken advantage of during that time as well. Um like some of my friends were just kind of like I remember having dinner with an old friend. And, I was literally sitting at the dinner table with him, and I just start crying because I'm talking about, like, what I'm going through, and I was talking about, like, how rough this breakup was for me, and I know, like, that's embarrassing, and I don't expect anyone to comfort me because I'm not crying for comfort, like, I'm crying because, like, it's making me feel overwhelmed and emotional, um, but it was more so what ended up transpiring after the fact, like, you literally sat there and you saw me crying at the dinner table about how heartbroken I was, and then the next time we talk, you felt like it was your moment to shine and make a move on me. I just I thought that was seriously appalling, and I thought that was seriously, like that was just disgusting in my eyes, because 'cause I'm coming from a very vulnerable place, and I just felt like I was kinda being taken advantage of within my vulnerability. Um But, you know, as I look back and I reflect on those moments and those times, I'm like, wow, like I was even even that early on in this part of like my healing journey, like I was able to identify when people were essentially exploiting all my vulnerability. And it kind of like I'm very happy and proud of myself in making those choices that I made then and cutting those people off. And I was really starting to just see the value in myself so much more. And my now best friend, we have known each other for like years. We've known each other since we were younger, and we didn't really start getting closer until about a year ago. And I reached out to her, and I'm so I'm so happy and I'm so grateful that like we reconnected and we've gotten so much closer now. And it was all because of that breakup. Like me going through that depression just literally helped me really identify like who is really there for me. And I didn't want to put too much pressure on her, but of course like I shared that everything that I had been going through and just we just talked about everything. And it felt so good to finally feel safe again with someone. And it's crazy because it's like this person has been in my life for as long as she has, and I just didn't open my eyes to what was there already. And it just feels so good to finally have found people that are genuine to me and resonate with me so well. Um and this entire year has been just amazing because I've spent it with some of the best people that I've ever known. um and yeah, I mean, I can't stress it enough like how great I feel. And yeah, like I said, October and November of 2023, I was down bad. Um and that's what kind of spiraled me into like the going out phase and the um yeah, the I mean, I don't really go to clubs, but the just being outside. It kind of took me down that path for a little while, and I feel like I needed it because I never really had that phase in my life before. And it got old quick though. It got old real quick. I think by like I started going out like probably December of 2023 and it lasted maybe like a month. By the time I was in Miami, early January, I was ready to like throw in the towel. I was over it. And like it was fun while it lasted, but I would never I don't think I'd ever do it again. I mean, well, I did it over the summer, but that's a little different. Like I said, I needed it. I needed that to kind of heal like those early 20s of mine and like feel a little bit more fulfilled in my life. Been there, done that type shit. And some people don't need the crazy phase. And I wasn't going crazy really. I really just was having a good time. And yeah, no regrets. No regrets. Um, but yeah, it's just I'm just so amazed at myself, like how far I've come. And I think kind of like slowing myself down, slowing my life down right now, and like slowing down on the going out has like really helped me realize that it's not necessarily that I enjoy being outside or that I like going out. I kind of just don't have a lot of time on my hands, and the only time I have like is going out time. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the only time I can align with most of my friends, and that's fine too. And it's not like we just always went out, like we'd have fun nights in and stuff too, but um that just was what we had the time to do. And I will always cherish it no matter what. Because like I said, I needed those times. I needed those things. But I've noticed I've had to learn about myself that I love living in the chaos. Like I love staying busy. I love just always being on the move. Like I don't need to be outside, but I like to be outside. I, I like doing activities. Like I like going out to do things. Whether it's to eat, whether it's to take a walk, whether it's to go on a hike, whether it's to, drive an hour and a half to Epic headquarters in Madison area. And I enjoy doing shit like that. Or just to go to a cute diner or an arcade or something. And those are just the type of things that I enjoy doing. I mean, I love being home too, like, of course. It's comforting and it's great being home. My boys are here. Like, I can spend more time cuddling with my dogs, but also at the same time, I love new experiences, and um I love meeting people. I love socializing. That's just the life that I enjoy, and I cannot be ashamed of it. Um, yeah, that's just I feel like in the last year I've just learned so much about myself. And like I said in the last episode, like I just wish there were more like sophisticated settings where liquor doesn't have to be involved, but more sophisticated settings where people can actually socialize and like meet, and not even to date, like literally just to network. And I feel like that's the thing that we're missing here in Milwaukee. Um and I wish I had like the capability to kind of bring that together. I tried to do something like that this summer, like in June. I tried to have like a little all ladies brunch because I really wanted to network more with women and like meet them at a different level, not just like, oh, we're out at the bars and we're drinking and we're having fun. Like I wanted to have like an all ladies social event in which we could sit and connect and talk about real shit. Like, and I think I mean, I don't know, I felt like that didn't work out the way I wanted it to. And that took a lot of money out of me to throw an event like that with not so much fruitfulness. And that's okay. It was worth a try. It was worth a try. And I wish we could do more sophisticated events like that. And it's not like I just strictly want to network with just women. Um, but I just felt like that was a more comfortable space for me than like to network with all because I just I think I'm still a little uncomfy stepping into certain spaces when there's men involved. And I'm trying to like break out of that comfort as well. Unless like I know you like that, like I really don't enjoy talking to men. But I think that's the case for a lot of us, right? But yeah, like I want to be able to have those types of things. Like I wish I could put together like a social club for people. I don't got the connects like that. I don't know enough people to do that. But it would be fun. It would be fun. Like I'm all about like bringing people together, and I'm all about togetherness. I'm all about like I don't know. That that's just the kind of shit that I enjoy doing. Um and like getting to know people like in a social setting doesn't necessarily mean like you have to jump in hella deep and like know each other on like the most insane and like deep level in the world. Like surface level shit is cool too. I don't thrive in a surface level social setting. I definitely do not thrive in those types of settings. But um I feel like those things are like I want to do more of that if I can. Like I feel like I always end up getting too heavy with the topics, or I get too heavy into like I hyperfixate on certain things, and it gets kind of funny. Um but I do want to have those types of situations, and especially with it like being colder out, like how amazing would it be if we had like more social clubs and like more social settings like that? Cuz don't nobody want to be out here in like club attire when it's negative 32 degrees, okay? I want to be in a nice little pantsuit walking into like a chill spot, have a nice little drink or two, a cute little drink, not shots of Henny like I normally do, and like talk to someone about like, I don't know, just real shit. That's all I can say is real shit. But I don't know, like I had these ideas and this intention like earlier on, and like I said, I think after that brunch, like, I felt a little discouraged. I don't know if I've necessarily quit on that idea, but, um, it's just not at the it's just not on my priority list right now. And I think I need to just kinda scale back a little bit on the socializing anyways. Um, but yeah, like, wow, it's been an amazing year. Like, even through all of the ups and downs and, like, the shit that I was going through this year, like, enough and my life is not nearly perfect right now, but I'm so grateful for having had the experiences that I've had. Um, and I'm so sad to let go of these certain parts of my life right now. And like going through this transitional stage in my life is just, it feels so good, but so sad at the same time. So bittersweet. And it just really sucks. It really sucks, but that's a part of adult life. Um, but I love myself a challenge, and I think one thing for me, a constant for me, is that I will always have change in my life. I will always have newness in my life, and I love that. And I just I want to be around people that don't bore me, like people who can bring calmness in my life, but also still entice me and satisfy me i- in those mental like in a mental capacity of like always challenging me, always keeping me on my toes. And I think one thing I love more than anything is just how much I've learned to love myself more, and how I've grown to fully embrace every part of me, and not just like, like I feel like for a while, especially fall 2023, I was so hyper focused on like the I was so hyper focused on fixing what I thought was broken in my life or with myself. And now like I can finally focus on, like I finally have the capacity to focus on it all. Like not just what I felt like was broken about me or felt like was unhealed within me, but also working on complementing and bringing out the best parts of me. And I think that this is like my favorite part of it. This is right here, right now, is is my favorite part of who I am, right? Like so far. Of course, I feel like a big part of this that I have to think is going to therapy more consistently. And I've been able to kind of scale back a little bit on therapy in the last few months. Like I've actually finally just been more consistent on a monthly basis rather than a weekly basis, as my depression has been more manageable for me. It feels so good because I was once in a place for so long where I couldn't manage it, and I've come a long way. I'm so happy for it, and I'm so excited for what's to come next. And I say that all the time. I feel like I say it all the time, but I've never been so hyper focused on like just what's now, what's in the present, and not so much what's going to come in the future. Like I'm looking forward to it. Whatever's going to come my way, I'm looking forward to it. But at the same time, like I love where I'm at right now and I'm fully embracing it. I'm taking it all in and I'm truly appreciating this part of me right now, this version of me right now. Um, and something that I've also learned about myself is like, because I always feel like I have so many parts to me, like, and I see myself as so many different versions, and like because I feel like I've grown so much from each little part of who I once was. I see that in like a lot of the people around me, and like I want to believe those things about the people around me. And I always want to see the best in people, of course, but it's so very hard to do that when you're constantly being disappointed, you know? And I've had to learn like where my boundaries are and where I need to let go and walk away. And that's a lot of what's been happening lately. Um, I've had to unfortunately see people for people that are so close to me, and realize like their actions are rooted in jealousy, their actions are rooted in envy, their actions are rooted in not in pure love or pure, you know, genuine caring, uh, for me. Like, it just I've had to realize a lot of that, and it's heartbreaking. But even recently, I've been reconnecting with some old friends who like just have been we just kind of went in different directions in life, and it felt so good to like talk to one of my friends. Um and just realizing like the direction that like I just had to kind of experience it all. Like I just had to do it all. Like I had to go a little crazy there. I had to travel a little bit, go out a little bit, have a little bit of fun, and just experience everything to figure out what I want to keep in my life and what I don't want to keep in my life. And I just had to like have that last hurrah and make sure that this is what I want. And realigning myself with people who are living their life authentically the way that they want to, and what values align well with me. Like I'm excited. I'm so excited. I'm very, very excited. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm hoping that me cutting out a lot of the going out and a lot of the extra shit that just hasn't been benefiting me in the last few months or year. I'm hoping to replace it with other things in my life that I've been promising myself that I do. Um, I'm gonna refocus on keeping my promises to myself. I promised myself that I would start making music again. I promised myself that I would start making clothes consistently again. I promised myself that I would clear my closet of shit that I don't need anymore. I promised myself that I would finish this picture frame wall. And I also promised myself that I would stop traveling so much. Um, but I'm very excited for what's to come next month. And typically the holidays bring me like it brings me so much joy. Um, and I used to feel really sad because for so many years, like after my dad passed away, like the holidays just didn't feel the same. I felt lonelier than ever. And I didn't get to celebrate it in ways that I would want to, which is to feel like there's an abundance of love and like my whole family just being around me. But having to learn that, like, it's not that I wouldn't put family first, but I put genuine love and genuine, I put genuine loyalty above anything at this point. And, last year was rough for me. Last year was a terrible, the holidays last year for me were just so awful. It was very rough for me. And, I think I slept through pretty much all the holidays last year. But last year, I spent a lot of my time like alone, taking myself on dates, taking myself to do more public activities without someone, and learning to be less codependent on anyone. And this year, I feel more comfortable with that. I feel like I've accomplished that goal for myself. I've gone across the fucking world alone. And I love where I am with myself. And it's almost heartbreaking to know that some people can't stand the thought of being alone for too long. I'm happy that I've gotten over the acceptance of just that all I have in the world is myself, you know? I'm happy that I'm in a place where I can finally sit and bask in the aloneness of the world and still feel so genuinely happy. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think I really have much else to share. I got a lot coming next month in December that I want to share with you guys. And I'm pretty sure at this point everyone's already seen the pictures from like Epic and my recent shoots, but maybe I'll add those as short clips um on the video episode. But yeah, uh hopefully this is a nice little check-in for everyone. It was a good check-in for me to remind myself of how far I've come and how great things are going now. But I look forward to talking to you guys next month and everything else that I have to share with you guys next month. So, um, if you don't already, make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Please continue to send in all of your love and support. And if anyone is interested in joining the podcast, of course, the door is always open. Just send me a message. Um, but you'll find me at Suffering of Silence Pod on Instagram and TikTok. And of course, you can listen to the podcast anywhere you get your podcast. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone. I hope that you guys have a great holiday season, and I'll be back in December. And thanks for being subscribers.